Okay, so in this video I'm gonna show you how you use the HMI for like panel view 400 to program the panel view C400 panel for HMI. So basically, first of all, you type down the IP address, as you can see over here in the browser. You need to, so it connects with the HMI you wanna connect with, and after that, once you open it, first of all, you need to connect with the PLC you want to make the buttons for the PLC, you want to make human machine interface for the specific PLC. So in this way you don't need to be around, or it's easier to control the outputs without even having a laptop. It's just like just a panel installed in any of the plant or any floor you can just easily access and give directions to. So first of all, you connect the human machine interface, that is this IP address. The human machine interface panel is connected with this IP address, and you're connecting the PLC with communications as Ethernet. The PLC is connected with the Ethernet, and the IP address is given over here, as you can see. So next thing is basically HMI is just to set up a user interface of the inputs or the buttons you can manage the output from, and it also shows you the content. Maybe let's say if you want to fill a tank to up to 1,000 liters and you have a program for it, you want to start, like, you can control it from your laptop, but if you have a HMI you can control anywhere the panel is. So you don't need your computer or laptop, you can control it with the control panel on the floor. It also along with the buttons, like if you press the push button and the HMI and then it starts filling, it also shows you the amount of water filled, like out of the 1,000 liters. So anytime you want to stop or you want to change something, you know what percentage or what material is filled in, or any other fault conditions as well. So I'm going to show you. Second thing is the tags. I'm going to show you how you can assign buttons. So as you can see over here, our start button is a Boolean type. Boolean is basically just 0 and 1, basically true and false. The start button can be like turned on or off. So that's basically it. So the PLC ladder logic program we did in what I did was RS Logix 500 has an address of B3:5/0. So we assign the same address over here, and the PLC one has the in the communication it's mentioned is the PLC one, right? So PLC one, and the address over there is going to be mentioned over here. Similarly, for stop button, its data type is Boolean, because normally button can be pressed or it can be released, so there's just 0 and 1 state. So similarly, the IP address for the button is given over here, B3:0/13. So all the buttons that have 0 and 1 conditions are given Boolean. If I told, as an example, I told you that if you want to, let's say you want to fill a 1,000 liter tank and it displays the value of the water filled in, then you can use a Boolean, because the condition is not like 0 and 1, it's 0 liters and 1,000 liters filled. You want to know in between how much it's filled. So this can be done by using the data type as a 16-bit integer, or you can use others if you want. There are many options: 32-bit integer, real, string. Yeah, so that's basically it. Any buttons, as I said, within range, not within range. This button is assigned with integer value. Over here it's showing up the water level, so it should be in 16-bit integer. Acidic level, similarly, if it's showing, then it's 16-bit integer. Water flow meter and water flow meter preset, those are considered as showing integer values and not 0 and 1 conditions. So those should be mentioned as 16-bit integer, and this is a counter over here. Water flow meter is a counter over here. So the accumulated value is addressed over here, ACC, from the PLC1, and 16-bit integer as it should show up on the HMI over here. Valves and pumps is boolean. It can be 0 and 1 as given in the program, the situations. Total liters is like measured in 16-bit integer. As you can see, there is more with boolean. Okay, last is the screen setup. So once you're done with setting up all the buttons, you start the screen setup. So there can be one or more than one screens at a time. So over here, this screen shows you the start button, the stop button, the reset button, stand button, go to level and flow meter, manual process stopping. If we want to go like the whole system needs to go in maintenance and fault, there is a button for it. You can switch to this modes. How these buttons are assigned, it's just like you set up the screen, so it's a user interface. So anyone on the once person goes to the panel, he can easily figure out from this point of view, like he has a panel and he can press the buttons, he can change the things he wants. So basically, once you assign a button over here, it's basically keeping a rectangle, giving it a name. But the main thing is the connections. As you can see, for like a stop button or start button, let's say for the start button connections, as you can see, start button, indicator tag, it gives you all the options as they were assigned in the tags over here. So the tags over here shows up like the addresses you give to them. So once you select from here, it knows what address it should find it out from. So basically, connections is important. Similarity stop process, the right tag is the stop button. So basically, it knows that the tag assigned over here has an address for the stop button in the PLC. So it basically reads from them. Okay. So this is the maintenance and fault screen. If you want, like there can be more screens. Level and flow meter, entry level, liters. It shows up everything over here. So there can be more than one screens, basically, as I know. So once you start, main thing is to connect with the HMI. You need to program the user interface for. Then second is the PLC. You are assigning tags or buttons or any indicators for. Tag numbers, all the inputs and the reading values, addresses should be mentioned in the tags. Screen is just a user interface you make, and once you're done with making the layout, you just assign the addresses and you're good for that. So yeah, that's it.